back in. Well, I'm sure a lot of you, like me, you love potatoes. You love potatoes. Maybe you didn't know, though, how nutritious they are, especially if you leave the skin on. More about that now from our diet nutrition expert, Dr. Beth Kitchen from UAB. Good to see you this morning. She joins us by FaceTime. There she is. How you doing?
Good to see you too, Mike, and happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, to you too, and full credit to you first, because you told me, so Mike, just wash those potatoes before you, and then eat the skin, and I do it all the time now. It's delicious.
That's right. Now, at Thanksgiving, all bets are off. If you want to peel and mash your potatoes on Thanksgiving, I don't tell anybody to change anything on Thanksgiving. Enjoy all of your traditional Thanksgiving dishes. But on a regular basis, when we're eating potatoes, if you leave the skin on, they're going to be so much healthier. So we're going to talk about that today. And what makes potatoes so nutritious, Mike, is that they really retain, when you cook them properly, a lot of nutrients. Not only do they taste great, they're super high in potassium, and people are always really surprised when I tell them that potatoes are actually higher in potassium than bananas are. When I say potassium, you automatically think bananas most of the time. But a baked potato with the skin on has 850 milligrams of potassium, where a banana has about 450. So this potassium is so important for helping us to control our blood pressure, which lowers our risk of stroke. So potatoes are really a powerhouse when it comes to potassium.
But there's other ingredients too, vitamin C, which I didn't realize. I'm always, thinking oranges and other kind of fruits.
Exactly. And potatoes aren't as high in vitamin C as things like orange juice, but they still have about 10%, making them a good source of our vitamin C that we need in a day. They're also a good source of magnesium, which is not an easy mineral to get. Another mineral that seems to help us to control our blood pressure. And then they're fat-free until, of course, we add the cheese and the sour cream like I do when I bake a potato. Yes, I do. I add cheddar cheese and I add sour cream because, what's a baked potato without that? But that's kind of my meal too. So you hear so many things about potatoes not being good for you, but they can be a really healthy part of your diet, and they're inexpensive and they just taste so good.
5 grams of fiber, that'll help lower your risk of heart disease, but also magnesium. Now, why is magnesium important?
So magnesium, along with potassium, these two minerals, when they are high in your diet, really seem to help lower our blood pressure. And high blood pressure is a big risk factor for stroke. And here in the South, we're in the stroke belt. So we have a high risk of stroke. So when you include lots of fruits and vegetables, and potatoes can be a part of that, you're really actually doing your body some good there.
All right, really quick, I'm sure you got a potato right there with you. You're going to demonstrate what you do?
I do.
All right, let's show folks how you do it.
Right. So the first thing you do when you're going to make your potatoes, again, Thanksgiving, mashed potatoes are fine, but we always scrub your potatoes. I keep my scrub brush handy here. And so scrub your potatoes because you want to get all of the dirt and then any pesticide residues off. And scrubbing them under running water is a pretty good way of doing that. The russet potatoes are best for baking because they're very fluffy and starchy. And then things like the red potatoes and the Yukon potatoes, these are really good for things like potato salad and for things like roasting. And so what I recommend with your potatoes to retain all these nutrients is, again, keep the skin on. Try to avoid boiling them, exposing them to water and air. So baking potatoes is super healthy, microwaving them, and then also roasting. And so these are really the healthiest ways of making your potatoes, and they taste so good. You add some seasonings, and again, it's okay to add a little bit of cheese, sour cream to them to make them really a special dish.
All right, well, Dr. Beth Kitchen, have you a happy Thanksgiving. By the way, you just ruined my day. I just steamed some red potatoes last night, added a little butter along with some dill, and it was delicious, but I'll try not to do that next time. I'll roast them next time.
Sounds like
you said roast them.
Well, that sounds like a pretty way of healthy. I mean, at least you kept the skin on, right?
That's right.
But avoid all that water. That water kind of leaches out those nutrients. So try to avoid boiling on a regular basis.
That is a good information.